This is Carlinkit's brand new Android AI box known as the Tbox UHD, and in this video we'll be taking an in-depth look at this amazing device. And in case you didn't already know, an Android AI box or an Android box is a device that can convert your car's original infotainment system into a fully functional Android device that looks and operates similar to an Android tablet. If you've been a part of my channel, then you'll know that I've already reviewed Carlinkit's Tbox Plus as well as the Tbox Max, which had the USB Type-A port built in. The Tbox UHD, however, not only has a USB-A port, but it also houses an HDMI port. And not only that, while both the Tbox Plus and the Tbox Max are compatible with cars that have wired Apple CarPlay functionality only, the Tbox UHD is compatible with cars that have wired Apple CarPlay functionality or wired Android Auto functionality, making this one the most powerful and vehicle-friendly device in the lot. Be sure to watch this video till the very end, as I have an exclusive discount coupon for you all to use on your Carlinkit purchases. So without further ado, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notifications, and let's finally get on with this video. As always, let's first quickly have a look at the box and all of its contents. We get a very familiar looking square box this time around as well. At the front of this blue colored box case, we get a picture of the device itself, which I think looks really beautiful, company branding on the top left, and the model name at the bottom. Full Android system, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay logos on the right. On the left, we also get a few logos for Google Play Store and online software upgrade. I got the top variant of this device, which is the 8 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs of ROM or internal memory. The only other memory option available for this is 4 gigs of RAM with 64 gigs of ROM. Moving towards the rear, we can see the model name, which by the way is also known as the CPC200 Tbox, along with a preview of the user interface, which we will be checking out in detail very shortly. The Carlinkit UHD comes pre-installed with Android 13 version, and it supports wireless Apple CarPlay with iPhones 6 and above, having iOS versions 10 or above, as well as wireless Android Auto for Android phones versions 11 or above. In the box, we straight away get to see the Tbox UHD. Let's keep this aside for now. We get some paperwork in a few different languages, 2 USB cables of type A to C and type C to C, either of which can be used depending upon your car of course, a metallic SIM ejector tool, an HDMI adapter which would come in real handy when connecting the Tbox UHD to any external monitor or TV, since this device also supports HD output. A very interesting feature if you ask me, and certainly a game changer in the Android AI box industry. And finally, we get the main device. This one here looks really beautiful and sleek. The build quality, as with all other Carlinkit devices I've reviewed in the past, is top notch. Good quality plastic is used everywhere. Comes in just one color option, which is this white top with black bottom. Size wise, it's comparatively quite bigger than both the Tbox Plus and the Max, which is why it is quite heavier too, weighing around 104 grams. On the left of it, we get both the HDMI and the USB Type-A ports. On the right, we get the Type-C port to power on the device, and slots for both the SIM card as well as the micro SD card, which supports a maximum of 512 gigs of expandable storage. At the front, we can see the company branding right below the LED light strip, which spans all across the front here. And right below it, we get a small button which can be pressed using the provided SIM ejector tool. Pressing this button, we can switch between the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay modes, which by the way is the default one between the two. We'll check this out in a moment. Behind it, we can see the model name, voltage values, as well as the serial number, apart from of course ventilation holes on both the sides. And at the rear of the device, we get absolutely nothing. Alright, now let's connect this thing to my car, the Kia Sonet, and test it out. Here I'll be showcasing the features of the Tbox UHD with a working SIM card as well as a micro SD card of 256 gigs inserted in the device. All you have to do here is use the provided USB cable compatible with your car, connect one end of it to the Tbox UHD and the other end to your vehicle's corresponding USB port. And after approximately 25 to 30 seconds of the initial boot up, we can see a warning page on the screen letting us know of the dangers of watching videos while the vehicle is in motion, and in the process preventing us to do so since that is not safe. As always, these sort of videos are focused mainly towards the co-passengers in your vehicle and not towards the one actually driving the vehicle. You might notice a prompt to restart the device in case the device automatically calibrates the screen according to your vehicle's respective screen size. And done, you should now be getting a similar looking user interface like the one we can see over here. As informed earlier, the Tbox UHD is compatible with cars that have wired Apple CarPlay functionality or wired Android Auto functionality. The default one is Apple CarPlay, which is the one currently being shown here as well. So if in case your car does not have wired CarPlay functionality, then no need to worry. Once the device has been connected in your car and you see these lights up front, we can now change the mode to Android Auto. Do note that this method does not work if the device is not connected in your car. The green light around this small button at the front denotes that the device is currently running on Apple CarPlay mode. Changing the mode to Android Auto will change this light from green to blue. Simply use the provided SIM ejector tool to press and hold the button at the front for about 2 to 3 seconds. And after a few seconds, we can see the CarPlay logo disappear from the head unit. Shortly after, we can see the Android Auto icon being highlighted on the screen. Once done, we'll get to see a similar startup page on the car screen like we saw a few minutes ago. Everything here works very similar to the CarPlay mode, including every app and their functionality. And in order to switch back to Apple CarPlay mode, simply repeat the steps just shown. Okay, so I've already set up the device here in my car as I've been using and testing it for about 10 days now. One of the USPs or the unique selling points of this Tbox UHD is that it comes with a USB-A port as well, which means that apart from turning your car screen to an entertainment powerhouse while on the road, now you can also utilize the provided USB-A port to connect to either a mouse or keyboard, a pen drive to watch offline videos, or even to power on a dash cam, which does work out pretty well, especially if your car does not have a lot of ports to begin with. My front dash cam, the 70mm Omni, has been working flawlessly with its USB-A cable plugged directly into this device, and watching personal videos or even movies without any performance issues throughout directly from a connected pen drive will also prove to be quite convenient for most people. In terms of the RGB lights on the physical device, we do get the option to change the ambient light effects within the settings. Although we get limited settings for these lights, and I would highly prefer to see a few more customization options here as well as a few more menu layouts apart from these two. The main menu consists of a side dock on the right with the time, status indicators, last 4 running apps, as well as a shortcut to toggle between the main menu or the apps menu. Besides the side dock, we get a large widget for your favorite Maps application, which can also be customized to any other app of your choice such as YouTube. On the top left, there's a now playing widget mainly for music, and right below it are 4 apps that can be customized as well to quickly access your favorite apps right from the main menu. Like most other Android boxes these days, you'll immediately notice a sort of a floating bubble on the screen which can be removed if you like. We can drag this bubble anywhere on the screen, clicking on which we get to see a few useful options, including a back button that I really appreciate. With the absence of a dedicated back button on the entire interface, which seems to be a very common miss in such devices, chances are that you can easily get stuck on a particular app, forcing you to go back to the main menu each time, which can be a bit of an inconvenience. The multitask button, which shows all of the opened apps, and we also get the option for voice or Google Assistant. The split screen button would prove to be very useful on the road for the co-passengers in your car as well. Also, if in case your car does not have a touchscreen, you can still use this device by pairing it to a wireless mouse that works with or without a dongle. At the top area, we get the notification menu similar to what we see on our Android phones, which is nice. As informed earlier, we do get the option to pair our mobile device to connect to either wireless Android Auto or wireless Apple CarPlay using the app called AutoKit. For the sake of presentation, I'll now connect my Samsung S24 Ultra. In order to connect, all we need to do is enable the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on the phone and pair the phone to the device. And just like that, we now have wireless Android Auto connectivity with the all-time familiar looking menu here. All of the apps here function exactly like the wired counterpart with latency at a minimum as per my testing. iPhones will work in a similar fashion if you use an iPhone. Here I've used my iPhone SE for presentation purpose. Let's now quickly have a look at some of the apps of this device and see how they function here. All of the basic features such as making and receiving phone calls directly from the inserted SIM card or even messaging anyone work just fine here. Video streaming apps such as Netflix and YouTube work flawlessly even while driving, which are definitely going to be a favorite for your family members or friends sitting in your car as co-passengers. And if you have any personal video files or movies saved locally in the inserted memory card, then just like the pen drive option we saw earlier, you can view them here on the screen using the app of your choice. You can use use the provided file manager to manage all your videos, movies, or photos, or you may even download some other similar app for it according to your preference. Navigation apps such as Google Maps work just fine here as well, and I couldn't find any issues while using them in transit, which means that GPS seems to work just fine as well. And of course, Google Play Store works just as intended, where we can even use voice search to look for any apps to download. Pretty much everything works flawlessly, and the response or latency in between apps is really good as well. In case you don't wish to buy or use a separate SIM card, you can always enable the Wi-Fi of the Tbox UHD to get internet access from a hotspot enabled device within your car. That works just fine too. Another very practical idea would be to enable the hotspot here on the Tbox UHD and let everyone in your vehicle share the network from the device itself, which would then act as Wi-Fi for all the car occupants while on the road. I did also download and install a few hardware and software information utility apps for the device. Here we can confirm that the Tbox UHD is in fact using the claimed 8 gigs of RAM along with the company stated 8 cores as well as the 128 gigs of internal memory. Android version 13 is currently being used here, which can be upgraded as well using the built-in Photo app, quite similar to the Tbox Plus and the Tbox Max. We also get Wi-Fi 5 here along with Bluetooth version 5. Qualcomm Snapdragon 660 chipset, which includes a quad-core 1.84 GHz chip along with another quad-core 2.21 GHz chip. And finally, the current temperature readings on the device and all of its components. In terms of gaming, we can once again very easily pair any preferred Bluetooth controller like I have done here, which would be the ideal option for playing games in the car for most kids. Very useful option for those who have children, traveling with them every now and then, which will definitely keep the kids busy, enabling you to drive peacefully without any distractions. And with all of the controls conveniently available at your fingertips, you can control the one possible distraction as well, volume. Since all of these apps, including games, would be using the built-in surround sound system of your vehicle. And as you can see here, Hill Climb Racing seems to be working smoothly with my paired Bluetooth controller, which is the Evo Fox One Universal Bluetooth Gamepad. Other games should work in a similar manner provided those games also support gamepads. You do always have the option to download and play other high graphics games as well. And finally, emulation games will work really well in this sort of a setup if that is what you're looking for, and I would highly recommend using a wireless gamepad for playing such games too. Personally, I've been really enjoying playing these games on a bit bigger screen. As informed at the beginning of the video, we can use the Tbox UHD on any external monitor to make it a smart monitor. But before we check the HDMI mode, we will need to make two changes on the Tbox UHD. Head over to settings, then HDMI settings, and here enable both the HDMI switch and the HDMI sound switch. If these are disabled, then the HDMI mode or the TV mode will not work. Here I'll be showcasing the HDMI mode or the TV mode using this simple monitor. This is not a smart monitor, but if you want, you can use any smart monitor or smart TV for this to work. Simply connect the monitor's or TV's HDMI cable to the provided HDMI out adapter, which goes in the Tbox UHD. You'll also need to use at least a 5-volt wall adapter to power up the device along with the provided USB cables. And done! Now we can use every single app and feature that we've seen so far, all the while using the home Wi-Fi, making this HDMI mode the best feature of the Tbox UHD as well as its other unique selling point or USP, since most Android AI boxes that I've seen till now don't have this sort of a capability, which makes it real easy for me to recommend this device to you all. It truly is worth the money spent. In order to purchase the Tbox UHD, you can visit the official website of Carlinkit. And don't forget to select the device specific to your region. Use my discount coupon HarryWT to get a 20% off on your purchase to buy any of Carlinkit products. At the time this video is being recorded, this device is available for around $218 US, meaning that using my discount code HarryWT, you would get a massive discount of approximately $43.60. And apart from the Tbox UHD, there are several other car accessories they have to offer for you to check out. For reference purpose, my Tbox UHD was delivered to me in about 10 days time with no hassles whatsoever. In conclusion, the Tbox UHD packs loads of features to be used inside as well as outside your car and is surely a fantastic deal if you use my discount code to buy it. And with that, we have reached the end of this review video. Hope you found this video informative. I'll catch you guys soon in the next video. Until then, stay safe and take care. Bye.